And now I have the great pleasure to announce our official opening, and that comes from the president at Bitkom, Achim Berg. Achim, the floor is yours.
Corinna, thank you very much. And dear honor participants, dear guests and speakers, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's my really pleasure to open this Bitkom First Quantum Summit today. On 2 consecutive days, we want to take a look at where quantum technologies stand today and where the journey will lead us. Whether it's medicine or logistics or cybersecurity, quantum technologies promise broad applications and will be a major game changer for our society and economy, I'm totally sure. In recent years, we have seen huge leaps forward, most notably in quantum computing. And while individual breakthroughs as well as issues are being discussed and addressed, it is easy to lose sight of the incredible possibilities offered by quantum technologies, of their enormous disruptive potential we all see. Quantum computers will be able to solve problems that even the best supercomputers fail at, such as calculating complex supply chains or simulating the effectiveness of new drugs or analyzing developments on the financial markets. In addition, quantum sensors will soon allow measurements orders of magnitude for more accurate than today, and quantum cryptography, will enable secure communications for sure. Many of the developments we cannot even foresee yet, but it is quite clear that companies who can master quantum technologies will secure significant competitive advantages in the future. That's for sure for me. 1 month ago, we at Bitkom had a survey amongst more than 600 companies, and we found out that the majority sees the development of quantum computers as a decisive competitive factor for the future. Larger companies thereby placed a higher importance on quantum computing, up to 3/4 of them expecting it to play a significant role. And I think, independent of their size, German and European companies need to concern themselves with these new technologies as early as possible in order not to fall behind. Money can be a hindering factor in many cases, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises, that's for sure. But the ongoing corona pandemic has brought about large economic stimulus packages by the European Union, as well as in the most member states. Billions of euros will be poured into the new technologies in the coming years, funding research and applications in key sectors, including and highlighting quantum, that's for sure. This will be a great boost to establish and advance Germany and Europe as the major hotspot in this field. It can only be a first step towards establishing the industrial ecosystems needed for permanent success. For now, it is important to implement the funding in the most practical manner. We must not repeat the mistakes made in the past in other fields, only being excellent in academic research, and then we are excellent in academic quantum research, but largely disconnecting the industry from scientific developments. Science and industry must equally participate in the research, closely working together this time. In addition to money, there's often a lack of time, experience, and connections. This is where we want to put our focus on this summit. We bring researchers together with decision makers in the world of politics and business. And to everyone who wants to take a look around first, getting an idea about what kind of change quantum technologies will bring to us, we offer the opportunity to do just that. To gather information and connect with experts and other interesting people. That's the key of this summit today. With more than 1,000 registered participants, we are looking forward to about 80 speakers and a panelist on 2 virtual stages, as well as additional workshops and networking opportunities at this summit. I want to say thank you to our partners, to our guests and speakers, and I wish all of you an exciting and successful Quantum Summit. Now I'm looking forward to our opening keynote. We are very happy that it will be given by Helge Braun, head of the German Chancellor's Office, underlining the importance of the topic to the German government. We pre-recorded this opening statement yesterday. Therefore, Helge Braun, the stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was delighted to receive your invitation to Bitkom's Quantum Summit and did not hesitate accepting it. I cannot speak to you live today due to important prior commitments, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity of addressing you today. Now, in the early 20s of the 21st century, we are living in exciting and technology-driven times that offer us opportunities that would have been considered science fiction only 20 years ago. Quantum technology is part of these dynamic developments. Its opportunities and potential are becoming more and more evident. Quantum computing is certainly the technology that currently receives the most attention. It holds the promise of being able to address problems that traditional computers cannot solve within an acceptable period of time. Quantum computers have demonstrated their ability to perform calculations which would have taken a traditional computer several thousand years of computing time in just a few moments. And we are only at the beginning of developing this technology. Figuratively speaking, we are only holding the first punched cards in our hands. But what exactly are these punched cards? There are various promising candidates based on different implementations of quantum technologies. Experts say it's too early to focus our efforts on a single implementation. The technology is simply not ready yet. And for what purposes exactly can we use quantum computers? Do we need but a handful of quantum computers at the major research centers and industrial agglomerations of the world? Or will every university have its own quantum computer in the future? Will we one day even have a quantum tech-powered phone in our pockets? I'm sure that we will hear a lot more about this during these 2 days of the Quantum Summit. The potential is huge. Even if only some of the visions become reality, developments would still be revolutionary. Market surveys predict the global market for quantum computing to be worth $1 trillion in only 10 years' time. Just to give you an idea, this is almost twice the size of the smartphone market today. However, I do not want to limit the topic of quantum computing and quantum technologies to just one number. It's about much more than that. It's about self-determination and technology sovereignty. The current pandemic has shown us very clearly how important it is to produce vaccines and medical protective equipment locally and build supply chain resilience. We are also seeing critical dependencies in the area of microelectronics. We are now trying hard to reshore parts of migrated industries back to Europe. It would have been much more easier to develop and retain technologies in Europe from the start. With quantum technologies, we have the chance to do it right. Quantum technologies will undoubtedly be a relevant factor in the future of our competitiveness. We have to be proficient at using such key technologies, not only to decide ourselves how we want to live, but also what we want to live on. Achieving technology sovereignty means that take our own decisions about how we want to live and what we want to live on. I firmly believe that we will not be successful if we take isolated action on the national level. The European single market is an important prerequisite for ensuring that innovative ideas made in Europe have good access to global markets. A single European country can hardly make a difference at global level compared to economic and innovation areas outside of Europe. Together, we can achieve a lot more. Germany will work hand in hand with our European partners to be a key driver of innovation. The federal government wants to use this scope for action in the field of quantum technology. The good news is Germany doesn't start from scratch. We already have many big and small companies which are working on quantum technologies. We have strong suppliers for key technologies in research around the world, ranging from laser technology and crypto technology to electronics. The first startups to develop quantum technologies have set up shop in Germany. We have industrial companies that are verifying novel applications in areas such as battery research and traffic optimization. And Germany boasts an excellent research landscape with higher education and non-university research institutions. Now we need to take the next steps. This is why the federal government decided to earmark 2 billion euros for funding quantum technologies in Germany when we adopted our forward-looking economic stimulus package in June last year. Our aim is to build a quantum computer with at least 100 individually controllable qubits here in Germany within 5 years. Moreover, we want to establish a comprehensive innovation ecosystem and set up technology platforms and quantum computer systems in cooperation with industry. We want to catch up with the United States and China when it comes to hardware. We will use flagship projects to demonstrate the potential of quantum sensors. The portable MRI scanner is a notable example in this context. We also plan to establish an ultra-secure quantum communication network for Germany and Europe. In the longer term, this innovation ecosystem could develop into a real industry. In order to achieve this goal, we need to focus on our strengths and overcome our weaknesses. Europe should choose its own way. We cannot and we should not attempt to emulate the technology giants from other regions. Instead, we should make use of the skills that have already put us into strong position in other global technology markets. Today, quantum technology has rather little to do with our everyday lives, but this will change. Now it's the time for us to prepare for shaping the future. We need expertise in many different areas. We need a multitude of perspectives, and we need a nuanced debate. With this in mind, I wish you many exciting insights and every success for the Quantum Summit.